I'm your host, Annie Bowles, and this is News du Jour. Hey everyone, happy Tuesday, even though it feels like a Monday. I hope everyone had a more restful weekend than I did. I had family in town and we did a lot of fun things, and then I had a sick baby all last night. So it has not been restful, but it has been, refilling my cup nonetheless, in terms of having family in town and having fun. So anyway, I hope everyone got a little time to kick their feet up though. Anywho, we have a ton of news to go over, so let's go ahead and jump in. First up, there's been some updates to the Trump Mar-a-Lago FBI saga. So let's dive into that first. Trump's lawyers have been asking for something called a special master for the case. And this was a term that I myself was not familiar with. I'm a lawyer's daughter, had never heard of this. So I went ahead and looked it up for us. And a special master is a person who, quote, is appointed by a court to carry out some sort of action on its behalf, end quote, according to Cornell Law's website. At first, the court was kind of like, what? And was leaning against taking this action. But after closer consideration, it was decided that it's actually a really good idea, considering the sensitivity and unprecedented nature of potentially filing charges against a former president. The judge handed down a 24-page ruling on the subject as well, so they weren't taking this lightly. They want to make sure that the court acts fairly and with integrity above reproach, according to the document. As a reminder, the FBI found boxes of highly classified documents at Trump's Mar-a-Lago home that were not supposed to be there, potentially endangering U.S. spies and other missions. There were also 48 folders found that had once contained classified documents that are now MIA. They're missing. Such actions, removing classified documents from where they're supposed to be housed, and Trump's legal team's behavior towards the FBI seem to have potentially broken a number of laws, including the Espionage Act. Lying to the FBI can also amount to obstruction of justice. And ironically, Trump was actually the one to change the penalty for some of these crimes to the level of a felony. The criminal investigation is still underway. We'll keep you guys posted. And for our next quick story, a new prime minister for England. A woman named Liz Truss has now been expected to be Britain's next prime minister for a little while, and it's official. The Brits have a long documented love for a female leader, especially when compared to the US, which has never had one at all. Liz Truss is a member of Britain's Conservative Party. She's facing a pretty dire situation economically as well, but has pledged to lower taxes. We'll definitely keep you guys posted on how she handles this huge transition. Exciting times. And next up, water crisis in Jackson, Mississippi. So this is not Jackson, Tennessee, but Jackson, Mississippi. And the water crisis there, thankfully, is coming to a close. If you hadn't heard about it yet, heavy floods due to rainfall led to damage at their water treatment facility. This created a dire situation where almost all of the residents lost access to water or safe water in their homes throughout the city of Jackson. Water for things like fighting fires and flushing toilets were even inaccessible during this time. The situation was pretty bad, but many residents attest that this issue has actually been looming for quite some time. Backed up maintenance left the community in a really vulnerable situation where the water facility just wasn't being taken care of. And then the floods just kind of, broke the floodgates, so to speak. Luckily, we are now hearing that normal water services are resuming for the vast majority of Jackson residents. So we're on the road to recovery there, thank goodness. Water's being delivered by volunteers as well to the elderly and the housebound. So the community has really turned inward during this tough time. But there's definitely the potential that officials will have to be held accountable for the delay in maintenance that resulted in this situation. Let's hope they don't let it happen again. And next up, NASA calls off a launch again. So NASA has now had to call off 2 Artemis launch attempts. The mission was seeking to take an unmanned rocket to the moon, but hydrogen leaks and other mechanical issues have prevented it from going forward. And now they're saying it looks like October will be the soonest that we can expect them to try again, maybe even into the new year. So this doesn't look like it's going to be happening anytime soon and is a little embarrassing for NASA, but we'll keep you guys posted on any updates to this new mission. And last up for today, Serena Williams bids farewell after a final loss. So we told you guys that we would keep you posted on Serena Williams' progress, and as promised, we have to update you that she actually lost out to the number 1 ranked player in the tournament and thus ended her legendary tennis career. She won her first U.S. Open back in 1999 at only 17 years old. Her daughter was there at this tournament, though, adorned with white beads in her hair, as an homage to her mother's look when she won those 23 years ago. She also thanked her sister from the court, saying, quote, "There wouldn't be Serena if there wasn't Venus. So thank you, Venus." End quote. A beautiful end to a beautiful career. On to the next adventure. And that is the news du jour. Today, I wanted to leave you guys with the quote, "There is no royal, flower-strewn path to success. True success is the result of hard work and sleepless nights." If you enjoyed this episode, please consider becoming a patron of our podcast. For $7.99 a month, you can unlock tons of perks like breaking news text messages so that you're never out of the loop. Tons of bonus episodes are already up there ready for you to binge, and a discussion board full of networking opportunities and much more. Go to www.patreon.com/sugarfreemedia today to become a patron. This is the best way to support our show. Our patrons make News du Jour possible. But a couple other ways to support our podcast are rate and review on whatever podcast platform you use to listen, share on your social media, you have influence, tell your friends, family, and colleagues that you love News du Jour and why you listen. You can also follow us on social media under sugarfreemedia.co on Instagram, just sugarfreemedia, all one word, on TikTok, and sugarfree_media on Twitter. We also have a weekend newsletter called Dreamers Digest that's full of dreamy content recommendations for your weekend and a life update from yours truly. Sign up today on our website, www.sugarfreemedia.co. Our music is by Joey Lavoie and Nicholas Foster. Our cover art is by Hannah Pierce Photography. Our Sugar-Free Media logo is by Catherine Jezik Designs. Any twinkling or little footsteps you might hear in the background are by my dog, Rhett. He's a rescue pup and always records with me. We appreciate you listening and look forward to telling you about the news again next time on News du Jour.
Broadcasting from Oklahoma.